Are we live? We're
Yes,
live.
we are.
Or is it
Yeah, oh my
Melrose?
God.
Good evening, Melrosians the world over. I'm Tom Catalini.
I'm Jen LeClaire.
I'm Sam Hammer.
And I'm Tom Shampoo.
And this is Let's Talk Melrose, show where Melrosians talk to Melrosians about Melrose. And we have a Melrosian special guest, Rachel Smith, joining us later this evening. Everybody's excited about that. We're going to find out all kinds of things that she's up to and into and the way that she's helping Melrose, the state of Massachusetts, and the world at large.
The whole planet. The whole planet.
Oh, yep. Not kidding, not kidding, as they say.
Yeah.
As the kids say these days.
Yeah.
But it has to be an early show tonight because school starts tomorrow for Rachel's kids, my kids. Some of you don't care about this anymore, but
I still got one in.
Jen still cares.
One still in. So yeah, because I'm wondering. I know a lot of people have day before, back to school traditions. I think some people try to go to the beach one more time or whatever. Anybody do anything like that? I always say that I'm going to do something like that, but I never do.
well, we did start a new tradition last year with our class of 2030 at the Lincoln School. We do a popsicle play date the night before school starts. So we just came back from that, and that was really fun. It's good. It gets the nerves out from all the kids seeing each other. The parents are there to kind of reconnect, and we haven't seen some of these parents in over a year.
So this feels like it should be a thing that every school should do, and it should be like every grade. Like it should be like everyone just show up at the playground somewhere and do a popsicle or ice cream or something.
Anyone can do it.
Anyone can do it. Just show up.
Can do it.
It takes some initiative, but it takes initiative to bring people together, particularly the kids. And I'll tell you, that doesn't go away at the college level. So all my kids are in college now, and that drop off doesn't happen all at once. It's spread out geographically and over multiple days. But the simplest things about, the goofy stuff you do at an orientation or the icebreakers you might do at work make a difference. So I think the popsicle play date has a lot of merit because the little simple things to get people to interact and get just a little bit more comfortable is often all you need, and the rest can cascade from there. But you need something to kind of kick it off, I think for many people, not for everybody. For those who need it, I think it does. It helps get the jitters out. So lots of. Sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say the orientations were online this year for college, which takes away a little bit because when my daughter went to UVM, like Rachel Smith did, I learned studying up on her biography. I got to talk to her about that later tonight. But when Mia went to UVM pre-pandemic, there was a day she drove up by herself, stayed overnight, met a bunch of kids, in June, and then you come back a couple of months later. So I don't know. There's a lot of value, I think, to things like that.
Yes.
Still kind of online. The schools at the college level, most of them are vaccination mandate, and they're doing mass indoors. So I feel like hopefully that will set them up for success on the COVID front and everything else. But all the little things matters.
I do. So Sam and Jen, with kids in the schools here in Melrose, how do you feel for the year ahead? What's your feeling about how it's being rolled out, and how do you feel about the year with the kids going in?
Well, mine are unvaxxed, so we're in a slightly different situation.
Right.
And I did make it into a classroom today. We went in a little early just to say a quick hello. And I was a little surprised, but we'll see how it goes, that there are pods of kids together. They're not socially distanced.
Wow.
In their desks, they're in little team tables, which makes me a little nervous. They will be wearing masks. They'll be having lunch outside when they can. And, we've been in the building last year, so I know we know how to do these things. But I think that this is the next step of there are going to be 23, 24 kids in that classroom now, and they're going to be like bunched together. So
I heard, I was listening to a podcast today, and it was like the recirculation of the air, the ventilation is probably number one importance. And so hopefully that's addressed in some way. I think not easy to do in the older school buildings, middle school and all of that. But apparently this epidemiologist was talking about the HEPA air filters actually do quite a good job. So I don't know, prepare as best you can, and we hope it all goes well.
Yeah.
So my student is older. She'll be going to the high school as a sophomore, and so she missed most of her freshman year. So it's kind of weird. She's sort of almost sort of starting high school in the building as a sophomore. And I think for kids that age, I mean, I've said this before that like there are different challenges for kind of every age level, and for kids roughly that age, the social the shrinking of your social circles and kind of getting back into these larger, broader social dynamics in high school is difficult for these kids. It's so awkward, as they would say. But it really is. I think there's a fair amount of anxiety among the kids about that stuff. One of the things they introduced at the high school this year is they all start. It's almost like back to a homeroom idea. They start with a block called Crew Block, and it's basically like you're like a little working group, and it's kind of like homeroom check-in where they'll go over things about the day or things that are coming up. They might do some of that team building stuff that you were talking about, Tom. And I think that that's a really good addition in this moment in time to help everybody kind of get back to reconnecting with each other as a Melrose school community for the teens. I think it's going to be really helpful. So we'll see. She's not excited, but but whatever. Anyway, so
all right, are we ready to move on to the news?
We are, yeah.
So this seems newsworthy because people are talking about it on the community page, so that's where I get a lot of my news. But the filming of the movie in Melrose is happening like legit today. So I've seen Will Ferrell's photo posted, and then Tracy Morgan, which was a surprise, was on the set, and some of the other folks. So it's
Ryan Reynolds, Octavia Spencer. Yep, there's.
There we go.
There we go. I was going to say a couple of pictures. I don't know who took these pictures, but whoever did, thank you.
I think
looks like it maybe come from social media.
I think Kathy Vines took a couple of them.
All right.
So there's Will Ferrell. If you zoom in on that picture, it looks like he's like staring down whoever took that picture. So
he does have that glint in his eye.
Damn Melrose paparazzi.
And that's Octavia Spencer, right up on the porch, up on top.
But most of our reporting did come from top fan Matt Dugan, who sent us a video, which I could not upload, but so he kept us abreast of what was happening down
I think most of the morning, midday, and afternoon, Matt was just circling the area and monitoring the situation for all of us, which was great. Very helpful.
Well,
anybody need water? Anybody need water?
Yeah.
Hey, we should also say, because this is also news, the COVID testing site at Square One Mall was closed today.
Yeah, because of the movie.
Because of the movie. All the trucks are parked in the parking lot now, it looks like, from the picture that I saw. The big movie trucks and all the signs and all the food trucks and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And it's funny because we're in the business, right? We're in the media business, but we're very, streamlined. Like, I don't know what they're filming, but why are there a parking lot full of trucks? The whole streets are blocked off. I mean, I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah,
but,
they just need iPhones and the internet.
Yeah,
right. And and some fancy sound effects.
So I can't say at a previous job I've had, I used to work with some TV shows to do genealogy research for celebrities. Now I can tell you, like, a 20-minute or a half-hour film shoot is like a 7-hour day. Right. It's like there's like 20 people coming in to bring in wires and plugs and cables and cords and lights and frames and all this stuff.
Makeup.
And it's on and on and on. They build it all, put it all together, everything plugs in, then they shoot for 20 minutes and then they break it all down and then they go home.
Well, so people watch this show and they think it's just 30 minutes of fun and laughter and make it look easy. But it's really like, it really takes like 35
full-time
minutes.
job.
It takes like 35, 40 minutes to pull the whole thing together.
That's right. That's right.
With the show as a part of that.
Yes, I recall not too long ago that we had a little video shoot of us planning our show for the Sunday planning meeting, and
that's right.
that's a lot of work. The Sunday
you can
show
see
meeting.
there's a lot of work that goes into it. Well, I hope that all those crews, in addition to all their catering stuff, I hope that they will also start the day with a cup of coffee at our new coffee location. Biddy and Bo's has just opened. Too much fanfare. I saw a video of someone was driving by there, and there was like people down the block, and I haven't been yet. Have you guys been?
I was on a bike ride on Saturday, and I took one of those.
Oh, it was your video, yeah.
I took one of those drive-by videos. There's a big crowd, and I think a big ceremony, and all the news stations were there, including MMTV. So Stephanie and I waited. Stephanie and I.
Wait, we should be clear. We should be clear. Not Biddy and Bo's, not Biddy and Bo's, but the movie industry. Not Biddy and Bo's.
I think he means LTMM.
Our timing of those things is not very good.
I guess
somebody
guilty as charged.
Somebody pay attention. So anyway, so Stephanie and I got up early Sunday morning. This was our strategy, and we went in early Sunday morning, day 2, and checked it out, and it was. Popular and busy and a little bit slow moving because they're still definitely in training mode, but it was just it's just like such cool energy. There's a lot of merch, so merch is definitely clearly part of the business model, and we had some delicious muffins, and the coffee was great.
Nice.
And it was just I don't know, it was just really heartwarming in a lot of ways. So we'll get to you, Sam, in a minute. I'm making a heartfelt speech here. But just such positive energy and just some good in the world happening. I really, really enjoyed it. So and the coffee and the muffins were great. So we'll see.
Wow,
and I told Marianne we want her on the show.
And.
All right. Anything more, Tom? Want to add?
It seems like you maybe spent extra time, maybe some extra dollars towards a business that we have other coffee shops in town because they have a good value, a good mission, and you waited for that because that made you feel good, didn't it?
Sure.
Or did you just need a muffin? No,
because we've had this conversation before.
Your business idea still doesn't work. That doesn't change my mind at all.
That it's a good the mission. People will spend more time and money if they feel good because they're putting
100%. So in full disclosure, we usually just drink coffee at home. So there's really no reason for me to go out and coffee, but it was a nice adventure. But anyway, if you want to check out Biddy and Bo's, go early. It's very popular. They're still in training mode, but just great energy over there. And
open 9 to 5, I believe. 9 to 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
It'd be nice if they were open later, still like every other business in town, but we'll get there before 5.
Yeah.
But yes, get Marianne on the show if you can.
All right.
It'd be a great time.
All right.
Sounds good.
What's this hammer thing?
Yeah. Other things that are everybody is always looking for hammers. Aren't we? So on our Buy Nothing group, Buy Nothing, we're in the Southwest one. There it is. Michelle, this caught my attention. Michelle Ramadan, it looks like, asking for hammers, decorative hammers, toy hammers, real hammers used for symbolic art installation in my office. So I was like, that's interesting. So we are here to serve. We're answering the call. So LTMM fandom, if you're listening and tuning in, check it and you're on the Buy Nothing, or just text us. I want to see her get the tools and the hammers that she needs, and then I want to see that art installation because it sounds really cool. It's hammer time. Okay.
And so
I'm going to send a photo of Sam Hammer and see if she'll work that into the installation somewhere.
And if there's if there's anybody in town that has a decorative hammer, it's probably you, Jen.
Well, I have a normal hammer, but I could easily turn it into a decorative hammer.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So we're oh, there you go. So we'll see. So I'm going to reach out to her and ask if we can get a picture of it when it's done, because
that'd be great.
I'm just dying to know what that looks like.
And that achievement will be because of the LTMM effect, as we like to say.
Absolutely, yeah. Of course. I hope she has enough space in her office on the walls, because now it's going to be huge. She might need to build an addition on her house now for all the hammers that she's going to get.
All right. So, speaking of people who are just hammering good things happening on the planet. Let's bring up our guest. Rachel Smith is here. She is a Melrosian, first and foremost, and also a regional planner for the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection. And we have special groovy walk-up music as soon as I get it going.
There must be a million ways to do it. Compost happens. There's nothing to it. So easy.
The compost song. Rachel, who sings that song? How did that come about? Welcome to the show.
Hi, Rachel.
My colleague wrote and sang that song and recorded it just this summer. Like, she retired and this was her swan song. And,
literally, wow.
yeah.
So good.
I just want to snap all day long when I hear that song. I do.
Yeah.
It's a snapping song.
And you're the guy most easily pictured in a zoot suit, I think. Right? Am I
We took
right?
a poll. The public poll says.
So, Rachel, how long have you lived in Melrose?
I've lived in Melrose for 8 years now.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you got Lisa over at DPW connected us to you because we were talking about the mattress recycling program new to Melrose. And she said, Rachel is the architect of this, not only in Melrose, but through the whole state of Massachusetts?
Yeah. So it's a grant program. So the department I work in at DEP, we work in the municipal waste reduction recycling group. And I specifically give grants to municipalities for waste reduction and recycling efforts. And one of the priorities we're focusing on is mattresses. So, since 2016, we've kind of worked with municipalities to start up mattress recycling programs. And I was really happy that Melrose decided to apply and I could bring it to my hometown.
Yay.
Cool. And so what happens to the mattress when we recycle it? What does it become?
So it actually, it's very, it gets filleted like a fish, honestly.
Oh,
Take off the top. It's very manual. They take off like the top layer of the fabric, the coils, they get pulled out by machine and recycled for metal. The foam gets separated. So basically they're separating all the different parts and then they're recycling each into individual markets. So there's metal, there's foam, there's wood, and it's clean wood because it's inside a mattress. So it's not like varnished. So it can be shipped in fabric.
And there are markets for all those materials being recycled, because I think sometimes you hear, and I don't know how true this is, but like we're giving over more to recycling than the recycling facilities can actually recycle. I don't know to what extent that's real, but I think textile recycling is more successful. Yeah, or
it definitely, markets fluctuate for sure, but metal's strong. Foam is pretty strong. The fabric is actually probably the least valuable now because it's like the polyester is not really reusable, and the mattresses have a lot of like padding that's basically, it's already recycled textiles to make padding is like in the mattress, so you can't keep recycling stuff,
Gotcha.
So that's kind of where they're maybe not making so much money, but about 75% of the mattress can be recycled.
But now this is an alternative to, in the old days, we just throw it in a pile,
Right.
in the landfill. And then it would just, what's the half-life of a mattress, Tom? Like 22 years?
I was going to say 37 years, but my research is incomplete.
We do not want to repeat the conversation we were having yesterday.
Yeah, right.
About how do you know when it's time?
Oh God.
Oh boy. Are there any
I forgot about that.
indicators, Rachel, when your mattress is ripe for recycling?
Oh God.
If
Don't answer.
Yeah, all our questions
you
are
can
optional.
say, yeah.
So it's one of those kind of things. Like, it's not something you see everybody putting out on the curb every day. It's not a frequently thrown out object. Obviously,
Right.
There can't be tons of them, but they are so big and bulky and hard to deal with. So, and there's a lot of material there when someone does throw them away. So I can see why it's worth it. They're just bulky and tedious.
Yeah.
And for the timing, is it something that you set the timing, or is it something that Melrose sets for timing? Because there is the band has the mattress sale. There's some, right? Isn't there?
So we said there's certain deadlines for the grant to kind of get moving, and it's basically just so that we keep the money moving along and making sure that it's, Melrose is doing what they're supposed to do. So, I mean, I do have some deadlines, but Melrose is they're really setting the pace. And so start up in September. Did you mention the band?
Right. Isn't that who does the mattress sale?
Yeah. I think so.
So there's a couple different things. So there's, what do you mean? The band? I mean, I don't know if they're doing that this year. I mean, certainly if they would, it would make sense for them to do the collection at the same time. And, Melrose could easily facilitate that, and Mass DEP would pay for them to be recycled. So I think the timing maybe that's part of it. I don't exactly know. But I think they wanted to get started, before winter to kind of see,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So what other, now that you live here, and this is also, you're professional at this, like what other opportunities should we be considering for reducing and reusing?
So, well, we're really good at reusing. I mean, I've seen all the activity on the Buy Nothing page, and it's gone into 3 or 4 distinct groups, which is like amazing. So I think, reuse is definitely the biggest thing to push for. Composting, you kind of mentioned offline. Home composting is really the best. It's the most efficient. It's the most cost-effective way to do it. I know it's not always convenient for everybody, but really you can compost a lot at home and save a lot of money, and you're reducing your trash. So basically Melrose is paying for your trash. Food is heavy. All that organic matter is wet and heavy. And so when they're paying to dispose of that by the ton, if you're taking that out and composting it in your backyard or something, like you're saving the town money. So that's something to think about too.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with all the compost. So we collect it all and it's deteriorating or composting or whatever it's supposed to do, but we have like a massive amount and I'm not sure. So I usually
with soil. You mix it with soil and then you use it in your garden or
grow some plants. Yeah, I know. Bill, maybe now that we're empty nesters, we'll have more time for gardening.
To gardening.
There we go.
You're gonna start a garden in one of the kids' rooms.
Scott Barani asked, "Does compost
attract
rats?" That's a
real question.
Yes.
That's a hot topic in certain parts of town.
If you do it right, it shouldn't attract rats. If you add stuff that is really gross and smelly, like meat and fish and that kind of stuff, that can attract animals. But if you keep it to fruits and vegetables, if you add a lot of vegetative matter like leaves and grass and mostly leaves, it's going to keep the smell down and it's going to keep the vermin away. And then there's different systems that you can get that are like rodent proof. The one I have is a tumbler, so it sits.
That's what I have.
It sits off the ground.
How often do you tumble that thing?
Every couple of weeks, maybe.
Every couple of weeks. Okay, I might have to.
How often do you tumble your thing?
me never.
You don't have to. It will just take longer. Kind of.
I see a
legitimate question.
I see a T-shirt coming at some point.
All right, Rachel, one last question before we let you go. And I just want to kind of broaden it up to you. You've been in Melrose for 8 years and you're doing good things and helping us connect the dots from your day job to the grants and all of that. But what have you enjoyed most about Melrose in the last 8 years, and what might you like to see change or evolve going forward?
One thing I definitely like about living here is the walkability. I can walk to my kids' school. I can walk downtown. I will have to check out Biddy and Beau's. I haven't been there yet, but it's very, I guess pedestrian friendly. There's a lot of things to do. And there's a lot of places to go. So I really enjoy that. I think what was the other question? What would I like to see?
Is there any room for improvement? Like,
Any
is
room
there
for
something,
improvement?
or is there something you wish for, or some new idea? Maybe because we've been talking a lot, like, the pandemic, and like maybe like a beer garden outside would be fun, like
Yeah,
loosening
that's a good
loosening
one.
up the liquor laws, and like a way to gather outside and be safe. Like, I know I really enjoy whenever they shut down Main Street, or when they've set up those little parklets in the parking spaces, and it really adds to the dimension. So that's where I've gone. So I don't know if you have. I don't want to.
Yeah, I think a beer garden is a great idea. You know what else I like is it's kind of cheesy, but you know how at some like open green spaces and parks they have like exercise equipment that you can do when you go on your walk. So they have like a random like pull-up bar or something. They do a break cart reservation. I always kind of thought like, oh, I kind of wish they had one over here by the tennis courts or something, because like then you could just like be with your kids and be like, okay, let's get some.
Yeah. I would need a pull-up bar not in view of the public.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I would want to like put it like behind some trees or something. But is that there's that El Pond feasibility study. I don't know if that was one of the. I don't know if that was one of the things that was considered in any of those drawings. I can't remember.
I don't remember that, but that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Rope swing and a pull-up bar and something like that.
I didn't hear her say rope swing. That's like it'll goes off into the pond. You can jump in. That would be fun, actually.
Well, see, we're building on each other.
Floating beer garden on the pond. There you go.
All right. Well, Rachel, it's thank you so much for joining us on the show and sharing your view of Melrose, but more importantly, or as importantly, everything you've done for the city and helping us out with the grant and getting this new program going. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. And you mentioned, thank you. And you mentioned walkability and that your kids can walk to school. So I don't know what grades they're in, but good luck to them going back to school tomorrow.
Yes. All right, we'll play the walk-off music here if I can bring it back up.
Everybody can do it. Compost for the earth. You'll get the earth and the earth.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Hey, Jen.
Stop it! That's your walk-up music.
Hello.
Oh my goodness! Hi, guys. These are my parents.
Hi, parents.
The oregano.
There we go. Welcome. Welcome.
I told them. They're here because I told them that if they watched, I was going to wear. They just sent me this shirt.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Look
since August 1971. Was that true even through the terrible 2s and 3s?
Well, no, that was okay. It was more like the 13, 14s.
No, there you go. That makes more sense. I can see
I don't know
that.
what you're talking about.
For the viewers who are not keeping up in the math, it's Jen had a big birthday, and so thank you for joining us on the show tonight.
Yeah, hi.
Jen's parents.
I will say, you've got the dates wrong, though. See, you're celebrating 50th. That's not the case. She went to Paris. She went to France at age 14 for 5 weeks. She came back 21.
Oh,
so officially, she's 57.
All right. That's a new math.
That's true. That was life changing, and I owe those experiences to my amazing parents. Hi guys. I'm here because of them. And if I had known you were going to be here, I would have given these guys that adorable picture to show. My parents just came back from the Grand Canyon and the Sedona area and all that. And there's the best picture ever of the two of them sitting at the edge of the Grand Canyon on a little bench, and the picture's taken from behind. And they're just sitting together looking out at the Grand Canyon. It was like sweet. Yes, it was just
nice.
They are the best. They are the best. So they broke the mold with these guys.
What a nice family. What's happening?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's all cute and all that, but let's hear the dirt. Like, give us some dirt. What do we not know about Jen that we should know, and including the viewers at home and around the world?
No, Jen's really good. I have to admit it. She went to the dark side of the moon, but she came back.
She did.
It was a very slow trip
she's very adventurous and willing to try new things, and always is successful at it, even when she has to use the, book for dummies at some point.
Right. So
Jennifer, I know. I was
of
going
the
to
90
say, part of your show tonight was talking about recruiting hammers. If I remember right, you have a bedazzler at home. You could kind of
Yes.
bedazzle one of those hammers.
Yeah. See, they
That's
know.
amazing. So-
They've all seen my skills now.
of the 93 episodes of LTMM, Let's Talk Melrose, which one is your favorite of Jen's hosting?
Oh gosh! Well,
yeah,
I've
see, there's
watched
so many to
maybe-
choose from.
there are so many. I've watched maybe 5 of them. To be honest.
I've watched 5 and I've enjoyed none of them. Thank you.
So I remember too when I first told them that we were doing this show, and you guys tuned into one of the earliest ones, and I called you later or the next day or something. I said, "What do you guys think?" And I asked you, Dad, and my dad goes, "You laugh too much."
Well, that Tom Catalini, man, it's nonstop.
It's their fault, yeah. Because we have
So,
fun.
where does she get her creativity and ability to be resourceful with duct tape from? All right.
Oh, well, that's all on her own, I think.
Duct tape?
Well,
We have nothing.
Well, being a first grade teacher, I had to do some projects. Maybe she got some of it from that. But as far as resourcefulness, she's on her own. She's really good at it.
Yeah,
So my mom was a 35-year first grade teacher, so she has the patience of a saint, and I would say that is where some of the creativity comes from. My dad was also an educator early on, and then went into sales and was an executive in the footwear industry. So I probably have my charming people skills from Dad. And jokes, and my sense of humor from my dad.
Well, let's get back to the dark side of the moon. Tell me more about that. I want to find out how long, where was that? Did you save any of the postcards?
Well, if any of you have teenage daughters, you know what I'm talking about. The dark side of the moon is when you know nothing, they know everything, they don't want to be with you. And I do have a friend who told me, don't worry, they come around, she'll come around, and that friend was right.
Just last week she turned around.
When did that happen?
I just started being nice to them a few weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know. Tennessee, they tried to kill him, so.
That's true. That's true.
So we've had a lot of fun as a family. We've done some great things together as a family.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just real proud of her.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to have her here.
A lot.
She's a keeper.
You're still proud of me even after you've seen these shows.
Yeah.
We're glad to have her here in Melrose, for sure.
Yes.
She's a bright star in the Melrose universe. So
Well,
we're
I can
so
tell
glad
you
she's
that
here.
when we've had conversations with her, a lot of it involves around things that are going on in Melrose. You can tell she really, really enjoys living in
Being
Melrose.
there. Yeah.
It's
Sounds like
Hey,
a great town.
it's not too late for you guys to make a move.
That's right.
Plenty of room.
We keep
Plenty of room.
warning her that down the street from her there's a home where elderly people live, and
I've been looking into it for her.
You guys aren't old enough yet. You're not going to get into there. You're going to have to buy out. You're going to have to buy
You're
outright.
gonna have to buy into the neighborhood because we have the best neighborhood.
And I heard there are 2 Toms that live on the same street that are empty.
Empty
nesters.
nesters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
plenty of room for you.
Plenty of room.
Nesters.
there's
Yeah.
room. Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking on
Sounds
borders
good.
now.
She'll be
Yeah, no
looking
kidding.
into it.
So
Well,
awesome.
you just have to
Wow.
you just have to tumble his compost. That'll be the
Tumble my compost and just leave me a note with your breakfast order before you go to bed.
Oh, that
Right.
sounds good.
That's right.
That sounds
Perfect.
good. I kind of like that. I kind of liked the talk about the muffin and the coffee a little while ago.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was good. It
Yeah,
was
good.
new coffee shop here. We'll check it out next time you guys are in town. Well, I have to say now this is now officially my favorite episode.
Yes, there you go.
Well, we have to thank your friends, Jen, for inviting us on.
Oh, they are very slick. They do a lot of stuff behind my back that I don't know about. It gets.
You can tell there's a lot of chemistry with the four of you. You can tell.
I do kind of like these guys. Yeah, we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. Kind of like you and your friends. So my parents still hang out with their high school best friends and also grammar school best friends. And also fun fact, these two are high school sweethearts.
Wow, look at that.
Yep. Adorable.
I can't understand how that happened.
Well, Tom Catalini likes to say that in every relationship, only one person can marry up. So you have to ask yourself whether or not it's
you. Which one?
Anyway,
well, that's just what I tell my wife whenever she's disappointed or frustrated. I'm like, only one of us could marry up, and it wasn't you. I don't know. I'm doing the best I can over here. What are you gonna do?
Daring.
Too funny. All right, guys, we should probably wrap it up. If you've seen the show at all, Joey and Jerry, you know that you got to dance it off now at the end.
And don't forget, when it's all over, go to iTunes or your favorite podcast app, download and subscribe, and give it an unbiased 5-star review, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. At
Is
least.
that anything like the customer list? Because that would be trouble, Jen.
And then you send in a complaint to Apple and you say, I want to give these guys 6 stars.
That's right.
Will do.
That's a cup.
Happy birthday, Jen.
Oh, thanks, you guys. I love you so much.
Love
Happy
you too.
birthday,
We'll
Jen.
see you soon.
We'll see
Take
you
care.
soon.
Great show.
All
Great
right.
show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming on.
We'll see you around town. Oh, I'm the guy.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're the guy.
I keep waiting for Tom to do it. All right, we'll see you around town.
There you go.
Rachel, you want to come back?
Yeah, bring her back.